tied on first is the Gladiator Splash Popper. That is incredible. I want to double header again. Tenayu Lunakia goes off on these things. Rightio, welcome back to another video. Now, this one is a bit different from the normal stuff that I put on my channel. This one here today is a challenge video. Now, this challenge scenario that I've come up with, it happens so often here in Australia. It happens in every single state, and it is cars breaking down in remote areas where people don't have service. They can't contact help, they can't walk to the next town, they are just in the middle of nowhere and stranded. Now, I am going to replicate this situation. Obviously, the car in front of me and behind you guys works perfectly fine and is able to drive me to the nearest town, but I'm going to use my imagination, and I hope that you guys can too. So in the car behind me, I have packed everything that I'd normally take for a day trip. So my rods, esky, my bit of tackle, what else is in there? A little bit of water. So not much gear and no food. The only food that I've got in the car is a little packet of mee goreng noodles, and trust me, that doesn't go very far. So I've got all my fishing gear here that I would need for a usual day trip, but in inspiration of this video, my car doesn't work. I haven't got any camping gear. All I've got is the annex on the side of my car and a little mosquito net, because I mean, the mosquitoes here get very, very hectic. But I have put myself in remote South Australia, no help, no nothing. And this one's going to be an exciting one. And I'm keen to take you guys along for the ride. And I hope that there's plenty of fish out there to entertain you guys. So before this video rolls on, I'd like to say a massive thank you for the support recently. It has been absolutely next level. And hopefully you enjoy this one, because by golly, I'm going to have fun out here, and I hope you guys do too. Well, it's pretty much every time that I make a video, someone asks what setup I use. So I'll run you guys through my flats fishing setup. It is an absolute beauty of a setup, and probably, I'd say, you know, one of my favorite setups that I own, just purely because it is just amazing and it looks absolutely incredible as well. So my flat setup, as I will attach the two pieces of the Rodney Rood together. These flies are awfully friendly as well. Is a Tenayu Lunakia, fly up my nose, Tenayu Lunakia LK6102S-MLJ, I think it is. Something like that. There it is there. It is just a fantastic looking setup. The reel that I've got is a Daiwa Caudia FC LT2000S. And the braid that I've got in here is Gozen Answer Egging PE 0.5 with a Seagua 6-pound leader. That is the flat setup. Now, all the numbers and mumbo jumbo on the rod, LK Lunakia 610 is 6'10", 2 is 2-piece, S is for like a soft tip, ML medium light, and then that T or J, whatever it is on the end, I have zero clue. So yeah, this is the setup. It is just a gorgeous setup. Love the colorway of the rod and how it matches this Caudia, because that's what matters, is catching fish on something that looks nice, because the fish always look at the rod and say, yes, that is a nice rod, I'm going to be caught by that. Now I'm going to get these waders on, gonna get my satchel on, whack this fella on, lures in as well because I want to use some lures, but the tide's a bit high, as you can see at the moment. This sort of drains right out, and the yellowfin at low tide will be sort of munging on worms and that sort of stuff out a bit wider. So that's where I'm going to go at low tide. But for the meanwhile, I'm just going to be chilling around in there. So let's get these waders on and let's get going. Righto, so getting tied on first is the Gladiator Splash Popper. Now this thing is a gun yellowfin lure. I'm just going to cruise these shallow enclosed sandbanks here. The only issue with it being high tide and being yellowfin is with the high tide they disperse everywhere, all over the flats, and they're quite hard to locate in large numbers because there's quite simply just more water. So hence why I'm tying on a bit of a surface lure here, just to target lots of different areas and try and bring in fish and see if there's anything around. We are away. What a day. What an absolute day for it. That's the noise that you're looking for. Little skloosh noises as it bloops. No such luck just along there. Also, if you're fishing these sort of areas where there's intermittent seagrass, it's a lot easier to spot these fish over darker ground, but they don't quite often sit in and around this real heavy stuff. They'll be around the mottled stuff for sure, but not in the real heavy stuff. Righto, so there hasn't been any love in the shallows so far, but this mottled ground here looks quite interesting. Yellowfin, they can be quite an unpredictable species for a lot of people, and that unpredictability does happen to myself occasionally as well. Sometimes, you know, I think they might be somewhere where they're not, and other times, you know, they might be somewhere where I don't think they would be, but they are. And you know, once you fish for them more and more and more, you'll find that they become more predictable. That's like most species out there, especially if you take your notes on the fish. Out there, there's a whole lot of sand and not a lot of structure. The only real structure out there is sandbars and gutters, and that's where those fish like to hang out. Mainly is what I found, especially at this location. However, this sort of ground here can be really quite productive when the tide is up. So it's always worth a fish because it involves lots of really fine movements. And as you can see with the tip, that's what I'm doing with it at the moment. Now with poppers, it's a slightly slower action than a, say, walk the dog lure. And I've just got to follow from a fish probably the same size as the lure. But it's a little bit slower of an action on a popper. That's why I tend to recommend poppers for beginners over a walk the dog lure, because the action is slightly slower, and what you're focusing on is just making the lure bloop. But I'm just going to head out to those sort of further reaches out there, hit up those first couple of sandbars, see if there's any fins cruising around. If there's not, I'll be out near that blue line chasing some royalty. Let's see how we go. I'll show you that that Kazami colour. That is just next level, and it's quite a tough one to find around the place. Is this one here? I believe it's colour number 5. It's that one there. This thing, for some reason, this colour that it's got, I love like the dark top, the sort of nice black lines on it, and the clear translucent body. But we'll just pop those surface lures away for now, and we will whack on a rig. Let's see, whack on a rig. What rig we whack on though? I reckon whack on this one. A potential customer, I believe. Just ahead of me, just here, is a blue swimmer. These guys patrol these shallow reefs very, very frequently. And this one here looks actually quite like a good one. Oh, look at him. He's a legal one for sure. If we can get him, that is. Look at it all flared up. Come here, buddy. Come here. You just have to be patient and play the game with these guys, especially when you've only got a little net. Oh, come on. Come on. There it is. That's a monster. That is a beautiful bluey. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see. Oh, he's pretty full as well. Oh yes. Yes, yes, yes. That is a ripper. Get a load of him. That's a legal one for sure. Now, if this was a survival situation and I was stuck out in this area, if you can see just on the horizon out there, there is a little white speck, and that's a boat. Oh, I was getting hits then. That's a boat, which I would be screaming my absolute lungs off to go try and get their attention. Geez, I'm getting smashed here, but they're just not holding on. Now, with bait fishing, for really all types of whiting, whether it's King George or yellowfin, don't just cast out and keep your bait in the exact same spot. If you're getting no love after about sort of 30, 40 seconds, then just do this. Just give it a little bit of a move. So you see how that rod is just sort of tapping along? That's hitting, the sinker is hitting the ridges along the bottom, and it's kicking up a bit of sand. And now what that looks like to a feeding King George or a feeding yellowfin is it looks like something is disturbing that sand, which could be a feeding frenzy. So they usually come in to have a bit of a suss, have a look, and then they'll see your bait there. And quite often you get some hits after you do these little movements, like so. So we'll see if that works. We'll see if that gets them on. Hooked on to something decent here. I think it's a yellowfin. Now I just saw a little sandbar and a little gutter. Oh yeah, just in front of me. Oh yeah. And it's a beautiful little yellowfin whiting here, and it's just going nuts. These things fight so hard. What a fish. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. That is a ripper. That's a good fish. And that is a start. That's a keeper as well. Who's pinned really nicely. That's a ripper little fish. That is yellowfin numero uno. I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's a sandbar about sort of 10 meters out just in front of me, and just behind that there's a little, it almost looks like an oval shaped gutter. There's a little crab in front of me as well, and just casted just on the edge of that gutter, and it just produced that beautiful fish. And I got bites pretty much instantaneously there, which leads me to believe that there is a school there and they are feeding. So hopefully me getting that fish didn't disturb the rest of the school too much. So we'll get it back out there and we'll see if we can't pluck another one. So just in that gutter, just there. Do I turn my camera off? Do we get another King George out? Oh, and I think that was just a double header. I think it is. There was a massive school, and I think I've just gotten a double header. There was a huge school of yellowfin just following that in there. And I'm not sure if you were able to see that. That was incredible, and it's definitely a double header. And they're two just beautiful sized fish. This could get very, very messy. Oh, he's running towards me. We'll get him in the net. And then we'll try and get the other guy in the net. Actually, let's just get the bottom guy in first. That's the bottom guy, and that's the top guy. That is incredible. Two a double header of yellowfin. Second chance at that school. That is just perfect. Wow. Probably sort of talked it down a little bit too much. I didn't realize there was that many and they were feeding that heavy. That's just awesome. What an incredible start. Two of the finest. Have a look at them. This guy here is definitely the winner, or that girl there potentially. We'll just whack this under my shoulder and we'll deal with these fish. It's almost worth switching to a top water here. When the bite is that good, I might just have to do it. I reckon let's just give it another cast with the bait here, and then we'll go surface hunting for these guys. Because wow, what a start. I'll give it a cast back out there. There was a good sort of 20 fish chasing that one in then. And I must have hooked it on the top hook, because usually if you hook them on the bottom hook, which you quite often do, they you don't get the follower coming in for the top hook. But just the way that first one was fighting and the way that the other fish were chasing it in, I definitely hooked it on the top hook, that first one, which is primo. Now the bait is back on. I've just made a cast out to that sandbar just in front. I've seen lots of silver flashes around the place. So hopefully they've heard that splash of the sinker and they've all raced in towards it. Because quite often when they're feeding, that is exactly what they'll do. Yeah, that's a really solid fish as well. I saw them out there. Oh, he's swimming towards me. Oh, yeah. That's a nice one. Now they can be notorious hook spitters, these yellowfin, because they just go nuts with head shakes. And that there's another legal fish. That's another beauty. That was just in that gutter in front of that sandbar just then, when he really swallowed that hook. Let's just have a quick look at that fella in the light. They're just a gorgeous, gorgeous fish. Just curious, because quite often it's hard to read people's minds or what people want to see on the channel. Would you like to see more of these sort of survival styles, more how-to style of video, or even sort of delving into the how-to side of things with rig making and a bit more sort of wordy chats with certain species? That would be awesome information to know. So drop a comment. I always reply to comments, or at least I try to probably reply to 99% of comments. So drop a comment, say hello, say whatever. I always like replying to you guys out there. And what I like to see as well is seeing you guys get out there, catch fish of your own, using the advice that I say in these videos, because I don't just ramble on and on about useless stuff. It's always useful stuff, and especially if you're a youngster out there. I know a large portion of my following is youngsters. Be sponges, just soak up heaps of information. And I've just got another, another yellowfin. Oh, have I got a double header again? I might have a double header again, you know. Oh, you're kidding. Oh, I do have another double header. We'll see if we can get these guys in. This is silly. Silly. Look at the bend in the Luna Kia. Oh my good Lord. That top one looks like a real nice fish as well. Oh yeah. Oh, I haven't even really turned these fish yet. They are working in unison. That top one's a brute. That top one is a brute. Salsa. And gentlemen, there are the two fish. Now my GoPro did run flat, unfortunately, so you didn't get me landing it, but I can assure you that these are two absolutely stunning examples of yellowfin whiting. Have a go at that fella there. That is a pig. Look at the gut on her. Now I know this is a female because the males, they quite simply don't get as large as the females. And if that was a male, it would be probably close to a world record male fish, because they really don't get anywhere near as large as the females. And they are here on the flats, of course, to do a couple of things. They're here to feed, and they are damn sure here to breed as well. And that's why they are in the flats in the numbers the way that they are during this summertime period, because they are gaining condition on worms, they're gaining condition on clickers, and the yellowfin season almost perfectly coincides with the king prawn spawning season, where all the little prawnlets are up around the flats, and they're also trying to make their way in this world, and they're trying to gain a bit of condition and obviously grow into a prawn, and then they work their way back into the Gulf. And once the water hits that magical sort of 21 to 22 degrees Celsius, that is when these fish really start to turn on. And certainly that topwater yellowfin whiting season that so many people here in South Australia just love and adore, that's when it really starts to kick off. Another one, oh, it's going nuts. There's a school just in behind me. Oh, this one's going skitsy. It's not as big as the last couple. Certainly another legal fish though. Oh, let's get in there. Good work. And the idea is the exact same with yellowfin as it is with King George, in the way that you bait up or present your bait. So I've got a little bit of salted worm here. Break off a length, probably the same length as my middle finger. I then pin the bait in the top, work it around. I sort of pin it depending on the length of the bait a few times until you've got a nice little tail end like that. Do the same with the front end. Now the head of, if you're using bloodworm, the head is the toughest part, and it doesn't provide the desirable action that the softer part provides in the water. So I always pin the head on if I'm using the head part, and then leaving a nice sort of soft tail flutter around like that in the current. Oh, that was another hit. That was the yellowfin for sure. I just wasn't quite ready for that. Oh, this thing has gone ballistic, and now it's just swimming right at me. Oh, and there's the eagle ray just there. Oh, is this a double header? Oh no, we've got a toady. No, toady. No. Toady, let go. We've got a Mr. Toad Mortis and a really nice yellowfin on the top hook. Oh, he's just fighting so hard. I love these fish. It is pure love at this point. And the toady is on the bottom hook, but we're not gonna worry about old Toad Mortis down there. We're just gonna celebrate the champion on top. And in this case, it is a beautiful yellowfin whiting. And for me, with yellowfin, with King George, it's as soon as you feel the weight of the fish on your rod, oh, almost like that. But when they grab it quickly like that, quite often means that they've just grabbed the tail. But let them eat. Feel the weight like that. I'm not sure if you saw that, but that is a perfect example of when to set hooks on a yellowfin. And he's just swimming, oh, just towards me. This is a ripper. This is not a big one, but still a legal fish. Just a beauty. These guys are in such good condition. And they are just all the more tasty when they are in an excellent condition like this. And he just spat the hook. He's made life a lot easier for me. And that is another legal fish. He'll be around that 28 centimetre mark. That's a good hit then. He's coming back. Yes! Oh! What? This thing is going schizo. Hello, buddy. Oh, you just incredible. Incredible thing. Sometimes they run away from you, and sometimes they run directly towards you. That there down there is a little baby female blue swimmer, and they're quite the inquisitive little beast. They'll quite literally just come over, suss you out, probably touch your toes a little bit like this one's just doing right now, just to make sure that you're not food, and then they'll nick off. They're an interesting little cat. And I've got another yellowfin on. I didn't get the hook set that I really wanted to on this thing because it started swimming towards me just as I was about to set the hook. So hopefully, just like that, we can get him in. Yes, yes, yes. I would say up there with the prettiest fish, but also, oh, let's not kick around. I'm trying to talk you up here, brother. The tastiest fish in the ocean as well, the yellowfin whiting. And before I just make a meal of this and accidentally let it slip out my hands, I'm just going to get a bit of grip on it and chuck her in the rage cage. Now I reckon that's, jeez Louise, I reckon that's probably nearing on 10 fish so far. One going skitsy. I'm not sure if this is a top hook operation. Nah, it's not. It's a bottom hooker. It's going nuts like it was hooked on the top hook, but it wasn't. Another beautifully sized yellowfin. They're not the biggest of fish out there. Mind you, there are a couple decent ones, but they're just really solid, like eating size ones. When they're about this size, oh look at that. Actually, let's get a closer look at this fish, because this is very interesting. Now this substance looks sort of like yogurt is probably the best description, or milk. This is called milt, and this is fish ejaculate. So this is what the fish here are doing at the moment. They are spawning, and this tells me, if he stops kicking water around, this fish here is a male. And also, what gives that away for me 100% was the ejaculate coming out of this guy, but also the size of this fish also indicates that it's a male, slightly smaller in length, but still tasty nonetheless. And he was just getting his last little bit of business out of the water as he came into the net. Must have been excited to see me. Now this fish did not fight at all until it sort of came in right in close, and then it started to decide that it was a fish that was going to fight. I thought I'd just hooked a little baby King George, but we're on to another gorgeous yellowfin whiting. And I dare say in sort of 2 or 3 fish time, I'm going to give it a count and see how many we've actually got in this satchel, because I believe it would have to be around the 13 mark. Now, it's so hard to keep account of how many fish you got when it's like this. I'm just going to bait up and we'll get back out there yet again. Now, if you're not 100% sure what I'm looking at right now, I'll paint a picture with my words. Now, I've got a little bit of a gutter, so that darker section there just in front of me is a gutter, and just behind it is a nice sandbar, and that sandbar just disperses down, gets a bit deeper and it pops up there again. And that is, oh, what I was going to say, that is the perfect spot for yellowfin to sit, because they'll come along those sandbars and we're on again, and they will come down into that gutter and think, yes sir, that is a beautiful place to sit. And this here might be another double header. It is. Oh man, it is another double header. Oh, it was another double header, but we've lost the bottom fish. That does not matter. We've got the toppy, and it is, you guessed it, yellowfin mortis. A whole school just sitting there, and this is just getting a bit ridiculous now. Whack this guy in. I think this is probably near on perfect yellowfin whiting weather here. We've got sun, not too hot though. We've got a little bit of onshore breeze, but not too much. We're going full Goldilocks at the moment. It's just right. Just enough sort of swell to knock the glass off, just enough wind to make the water that little bit stirred up that I like it to be. And we are full Goldilocks mode at the moment. Not too hot, not too cold, just right. Let's see if Mr. Whiting are going to be biting. Haha. No sooner, oh you, do I turn off my camera, the whiting come a biting. And there's one. He's swimming towards me. I think I've got hooks in him. Oh, he's going nuts. Woohoo! It's another yellowfin whiting. Hello, hello. These aren't the biggest fish, but by golly, they're plentiful. And lo and behold, we've got another yellowfin whiting. Oh, hello. Oh yeah, bury that nose down. Oh yeah. Come here now. Come here now. Don't be silly. That's it. Good work. Good, good, good. Good is good. Yeah, we have 16 beautiful yellowfin whiting. I'll just get these guys back in on ice. Just double count again, and we'll see how we go. And another keeper male. Look at him. Oh, this is just next level at the moment. I'm not even really trying for crabs. They're just walking along. They are making themselves very, very obvious at the moment. This guy only had one claw, and his other claw was extremely messed up. That's a battle scarred crab, that is. Look at his claw. I've never seen that. That's like, hello, my name is Blue Swimmer. This zone in particular, just in here, is one that I like the look of a lot. It is just that little bit deeper in and amongst 3 different sandbars. I just like the look of that. I think that there might be some fish holding in there. Hopefully there is. We had a couple of hits in that zone there, hence why I'm just making my way over to this area. It's sort of a bit similar. You've got what I like to call a complex sandbar system. So you've got one sort of island-like sandbar there, a nice big trough with another island-like sandbar, so that fish can move both ways into that little system just there. And that deeper point looks excellent. Even this little deeper point just up ahead of me just here, if I cast it in there, that would hold fish 100%. It's going to make a bit of a longer cast. I didn't mean to turn the GoPro off there. But we have got, oh, and there's fish following as well. We've got, oh, we've got a beautiful double header is what we've got. Oh, of some really nice sized fish as well. This would be unheard of if we managed to land this. Double headers after double headers after double headers. Oh, there's one. And there's two. Yes. It's number 17. It is number 18. How good. Third double header of the day, and have lost one. Third that we've landed. 4 double headers is incredible, just quietly. And just as I was about to move, thinking that I talk so much shit about thinking that I know somewhat about where these fish will be, I managed to find and pluck out that double header out that gutter. Just took a little bit longer for them to find that bait. And we've got another one. Oh, and there are probably 15 fish chasing this guy in. I saw them all come over that sandbar. And wow, I think this briefly would have been another double header. And we've got 2 crab mortai just chilling next to us. There's another legal one. Oh, they're tussling. They're tussling. That one there looks pretty close to keeper. And we have got it. The last yellowfin whiting before the bag out, and it's getting followed in by many fish. Oh yeah, there's some good fish chasing that in too. There he is. That is number 2020 yellowfin whiting. That there on the Tanayu Lunakia is a bag limit. And there's another one just in front of me just there. Tanayu Lunakia goes off on these things. Just a second, because I have found a dinosaur blue swimmer crab. Look at this crab. This thing is huge. Oh, if this day gets any better, I reckon I'm going to lose the plot. Another legal blue swimmer crab, and a male as well, and full of meat. I'll tell you what, if you haven't already and you're watching this, click that subscribe button right now, because this is pretty special. Cannot write this. I've just gone to put on a surface lure just to see if I can catch and release a couple, and look what's wandered over to me. Another male blue swimmer crab that is a keeper, and the colors on this guy are just stunning. How is this possible right now? What is going on? And we've got Mr. Raymondo coming towards us. Geez, this guy is fired right up. Mr. Raymondo coming over to us just right now. Just to have a squiz on what I am doing with myself right now. And that is almost getting bitten by a rather large blue swimmer crab. And here he is. It's worth a measure, but I dare say that there is legal size. Oh, just a keeper. And this rather ridiculous bag that we have got ourselves into at the moment is growing by the minute with blue swimmer crabs aplenty. And it is getting ridiculously heavy on my shoulders. Whoa. Stumbled across potentially the biggest blue swimmer of the day. This thing is mega. I thought it was like a stingray or something moving through the water, but it was just this perler. As soon as I saw that blue, man, oh man, that blue gets me excited. It's doing the dance. Come on. Come on. Oh, oh, come on. Oh, come on, where'd you go? Where'd you go? There he is. Oh, another legal one. Oh, this is getting out of control. This is getting out of control. Look at him. The GoPro didn't turn on when I wanted it to, but we've just managed to land a impressive, if I can get the hook off, an impressively sized Tommy Ruff, who is just loving, there we go, getting the hook all tangled, but that is a very, very impressive size Tommy. And that there is some of the tastiest tucker that you will ever find in these waters when eaten fresh. Now what I've done there is I've just, well, he's flicking water all over my face. I've snapped the artery between his heart and his brain, or and his gills, sorry. And that there pumps out all of the blood out of his system, which makes the meat so much tastier on these Tommy Ruff. And that there is dinner for sure, because the yellowfin, I mean, they are the best tucker going, but the Tommy Ruff, when fresh, I reckon they're up there, and that there is going to be magnificent. Well, righto, we are back in. I've just whacked the GoPro batteries back on charge. I've got a little bit left in this one, but all the fish are on ice. I managed to get 20 yellowfin and 10 blue swimmer crabs as well, which is a big bonus. But that satchel, I tell you, it was full to the brim. There literally, you could not fit another crab in that thing. But the plan right now is going to be getting set up to spend the night here. We've got to get some firewood on the go. I'm going to make a real small fire just for cooking, just because I don't need it for heat, because it is, as you can probably tell, pretty hot out here at the moment. So I'll whack you back up on my head. I'll take you through how I set it up, and yeah, let's get out there. Now, possibly one of the most important things out here, if you are stranded in the wild, obviously I'm not right now, but that one thing, other than water, other than food, is shelter. Those are the three things that you need to worry about out here: food, water, shelter. Now, we've got food, we have some water in the car, probably enough to last me on pretty tight rations for maybe a week in this sort of heat. So we've got a little bit of water, and now we are going to get out into setting up the shelter. Now, I don't have a tent, I don't have a swag. What I have is this annex along here. That comes out to about here, and then I'm going to add something a little bit special onto it, and then we're going to sleep right about here. I've chosen a nice sort of clear spot, no nothing, no nasties, and yeah, I'll set you up on the ground and you can watch me set this up. In the wind, probably going to go wrong, let's be honest. tricks in the wind. This one here is actually quite easy, as you just saw, to set up in the wind. So I'm going to get these guide ropes on, otherwise this thing is going to become a kite. Step number 2 in the plan, or number 3, I mean, if you're counting the steps this morning of catching dinner. That's tick, shelter, tick, and now fire is the next step. So I need to locate some firewood around the place. There should be plenty. Sort of walking around very briefly, saw a fair bit, so need to grab that and then set up the extra bushing it shelter that we've got coming towards us tonight. But and just get a load. No, it's a bit breezy, but wow, you can really get a as we are about to go out and collect our firewood. I just thought I would share some general advice with you guys about if you do manage to get stuck in this situation yourselves. First things first, this is a very loose reenactment, and you shouldn't sort of do exactly as I do in this video if you do get caught in this situation. Where most things go wrong and casualties occur is when people walk long distances away from their vehicle. You should stay within probably a 15-meter radius of your vehicle if possible. Your vehicle is your shelter. Quite often it'll have food on board as well, and it will have water on board as well. There's a couple different strategies that you can use if you're going out bush. That's like filling up your windscreen wiper fluid with just pure water before you leave. So there's a reserve of water there just in case you do get caught out and you run out of water. You can do the same. I know there's some old school people out there that run just straight water in their radiator as well, especially if they're going on long distance trips like that. But all my advice is stay with your car. Don't go out miles away. Don't go, walking 60 k's in one direction looking for help. Stay with your car. Someone will eventually know that you're missing, and someone will come after you. Absolutely. Oh, look at that. We've already found some treasure. Han Super Dry Gluten Free. Wow, that bottle is corking too. That is so hot. There you go. People like to leave their rubbish around. I'm just gonna throw that back towards the car so I can take it away with me when I'm gone. Oh, is that deodorant? Oh, more treasure. 48-hour freshness. Look at that. I'm gonna be smelling good out here, and some more gluten-free beer. Now, whoever the gluten-free muppet was who was drinking gluten-free beers out here, can you make sure next time to not be an absolute toss bag and clean up your rubbish, please? Is this Mr. Gluten-Free again? Oh, of course, Mr. Gluten-Free strikes again. 3 beers. Oh, 4 beers for Mr. Gluten-Free. He was on a rampage. I found another cool sea snail. This one here is called oh yuck. Oh, that's a oh, holy, I taste chlorine. Oh my god, that was so, oh Christ. Well, before I was rudely interrupted, holy shit, this guy here is called a moon snail. Now, this is a predatory snail, and it goes along the bottom and it sort of cruises around, and it'll find little bivalves like little cockles or other shells, and it's got a really strong sort of foot or tooth that burrows into the shell and then eats it from the outside in. These guys are also responsible for those little weird moon-shaped jelly thingos that you find on the beach that you probably pick up and peg at your mates. But those are these guys' egg sac. So the next time that you see them, Don't peg them at your mates, only if they're washed up in the hot sun and they're no chance of living. But yeah, little moon snail, these guys are really cool. I'll try and find a shell that has been eaten by one of these and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Look at him. Here we go. I have found exactly what I'm looking for. So this little poor bivalve was cruising around in the sand. Does everybody see, hang on, that perfect circle in the front of the shell there? And that is responsible by only one predatory snail, and that is a moon snail. And there are plenty around here. That's this guy right there. He's gone along, or not this exact snail, probably not. Chances of that are very, very slim. But that snail would have gone along and would have cruised in, found that little bivalve. And what they do, they always burrow in the exact same spot. And that's where the main muscle of the bivalves are. They burrow into that and then eat that out so the shell opens up so they can then eat the rest. Cool little snail, those ones. So hopefully you guys enjoy those little facts. Let me know if you do. Comment down below if you want to see more facts about that sort of jazz. But I get distracted very easy. Let's get back out there. Let's get some more firewood, because at the moment this firewood pile is looking very sorry for itself. This stock's on. Getting some here we go. Are you kidding? Old mate again. Old mate gluten-free. Are you kidding? To say it's disappointing is an understatement. It's like, excuse my language, but it's fucking heartbreaking. Like, you got such a good thing and you're so privileged to have it, and yet you just feel the need to stuff everything up for everybody else. A massive log. Look at that thing. It's gonna burn all night. Someone's already had a go at it. Definitely not from around here. I got a little bit of news to share with you guys. So if you follow my Instagram, then you would know this, but if you don't, now's a great chance to. I'll plug it down just in around here. It is Ollie_Squidding_page. It's a place where I just post really all my catches, a few highlights and reels and all that sort of jazz. It's a pretty good time, so go check it out. On one of my stories recently, I had a bit of a poll up, and it was, would you like to see topwater whiting lures make an appearance on the store? And it was a resounding yes. And I've got some very, very exciting news that you need to stay tuned for. I can't quite tell you yet, but I've got something very, very special, and it should come to the store very, very soon. And hopefully it does you guys a world of good, because they're pretty cool. Well, righto, bit of an update for you. I've set up the accommodation for tonight. This is a like fly net looking thingo. I've just attached it to the top up here, and then it's got 4 pegs on each side, and then I've got one of the logs. If I don't need to burn it, which I don't think I do, I'm going to leave that there so it's sort of all encapsulated. Little foam sort of roll mat, and then a big towel down there. Try and get a little bit of insulation from the ground, just because well, the sand, it really does suck the heat out of you. Now that's probably what I would do in a survival situation. I might try and situate it a little bit further under the shelter, so I have a bit of a cover on the roof of my head, especially if it's raining. But I do want to just check out the stars tonight, so that's why I've left it out a little bit further. Now it is great to sit down. I've also filleted off all the fish, so all of them are just chilling out nicely in the esky at the moment. I just need to do the Tommies for dinner tonight. Righto, ladies and gentlemen, these are the 2 dinner fish for tonight. They are actually some really solid sized Tommies, these 2. Check them out. Now, this is how I'm going to fillet these fish. I'll get the angle all sorted for you so you can see how I in fact do it. So, Tommies are probably one of the easiest fish to fillet. I use a nice thin knife for these, but you can really use whatever, and I leave the scales on just because I take the skin off these fish. It sort of takes a bit of the bloodline out, you'll see in a second. So let's make that incision. I turn it around this way for this side. For some reason I always have done it this way, it just works for me. Now I'm not saying I'm the best filleter in the world. I know I have my fingers in front of the knife, which is a big no-no to the professional filleters, but I'm not going a million miles an hour. But check out how white that meat is. For Tommy meat, that is next level light. Got a bit of a fly farm happening here at the moment, but I'll knock this other fillet off. Straight incision down, come hit that backbone, work your way along. And fresh Tommies, well, they are something else. They are bloody delicious fish. There's that frame. That's going to the seagulls over there. They can peck away at that. Now, to skin them, you can use a blunt knife to do this as well, but I'm going to use the same knife. Make a slight little incision, but not all the way through. So you've just left with that little tag in there. I hold on to that like so, and you're not even really putting that much pressure to move forward, and that is a perfectly skinned Tommy rough fillet. That skin, that can go out there. I'm just going to leave this fella down here. I'm going to do the same to each one. Look at that. How good do they look? This is how you completely get a boneless Tommy rough fillet. So that's there is the rib cage. Come over or underneath the rib cage, sorry. Make sure you go on underneath all those ribs. Slight angle. And these ribs, they actually go quite deep. So you end up losing a little bit of meat off your fillet there. But in order to get nice boneless fillets. Now, last step to get all the bones out is they have, I reckon, 3 or 4 pin bones along that bloodline there, and I'll just chop them out like so, and that is a perfectly boneless Tommy rough fillet. Here we go, the old stick method. Loosening that soil off. We're going to build a bit of a wall here, Donald Trump style. Starting the fire. Look at that. And that's exactly what we want, is a nice little wall so that we have a nice dry zone there. This stuff here is called bush rosemary, and it smells very, very similar to proper Western rosemary, but just not quite as potent. It's a little bit more subtle and slightly sweeter as well, and it's quite nice in cooking. Now, if I was doing a steak or something tonight, I would absolutely put that in. Righto, so what I've got here is our little bit of toilet paper that we'll be using, and a whole bunch of small sticks. Now the small sticks will sit on top of said toilet paper, and then we'll light that. We'll bring over some slightly bigger sticks, incorporate that into it, and that should take. Now's the fun part. I've got a couple more little sticks here that I'll just add on. It will come right down underneath. Now this lighter is a bit temperamental with wind at the best of times, so we'll try our very best. Righto, we've got something. It's taken a lot longer than what I thought. That salt on the logs and everything is just like super duper painful, but we've finally got some heat going here. We'll start whacking those medium sized sticks on like so. You guys are back on my head now, because we are about to enter Ollie's kitchen. I've just whacked a little bit of water in the wok there. And we're just going to whack the wok on just like that. Meagerang noodle is going in there. Let that sort of absorb a little bit, get it going. And then as soon as the noodles are nearly done, we're going to move it to one side. Hopefully all that water will have been absorbed, and we're going to put our fish in with this seasoning and a bit of oil. Fish is still chilling out inside the esky. There's no reason for it to come out just yet. The water's boiling. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, look at that. Noodle breakage. That's what you like to see. Bit of noodle breakage. Now, if you, I deeply apologise for my chopsticks skills here. Oh my God, for some reason I just cannot hack this at the moment. Usually, I swear to God, I'm not normally this bad. But the combination of having 4 million flies around my eyeballs whilst I'm trying to see if this is cooked or not. Not quite. It's not far off though. A little bit of water left in here is what I want. And then this is where it gets real interesting. We're going to whack in a touch of olive oil so that when that water evaporates, that's there. It's going to be in the money, in the business. We're going to add in our seasoning, and then once this gets a little bit mixy, just a little bit mixomatosis, and let's get the main event on. Let's get the main event in, I should say. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Shut that, keep that nice and chilly. Here we go. All in that meagerang goodness. Oh goodness gracious me, that is awesome. And just look at that. We are cooking. We are cooking. Give it a little bit of a flip. And that guy there as well. And that guy there as well. And that guy there as well. And we'll get that back on the heat. Get them sizzling up just beautifully there. Look at that. Just a nice flaky noodle dish here. The fish is just crisped up perfectly. I sort of use the this little cross section here as the wok towards the end. This is a wok burner, I should say. But I'm going to sit back. I'm going to smash this meal, and I am starving. This is my only meal of the day. Proper hungry. I mean, that fly did taste pretty good today, but certainly didn't hit the spot. Right, well, fading light. Sorry, the lighting's probably going to be really average, but there is dinner. I'm very excited to get into this. Again, apologies for the very poor chopstick skills. Let's see how it tastes. Oh, it's just beautiful. So good. Just nice little, just subtle hint of smokiness in there. How about the fish? There it is, Tommy Rough. Oh, just incredible. Just so mild in taste. Oh man, That is awesome. I'm going to sit back, relax, and enjoy this meal. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Well, good morning. That was actually a pretty good sleep. Just chilling out, sleeping on my jumper there. Actually didn't get too hot at all during the night, but the sunrise was just really picturesque this morning. I have a bit of time to myself to get myself organised, have a sort of suss of the zones today and come up with a bit of a plan. I think yellowfin's going to have to be the go again. There's a bit more cloud cover that sort of rolled in this morning. Not sure, I'll show you in a little bit. But hopefully a lot of it burns off. It sort of seems to me that a lot of it's a low sort of cloud and it should burn off. So yeah, you'll see how we go. The forecast said mostly sunny, so we'll take their word for it. But how good. Keen as to get out there. Maybe some George on the cards.
Righto, so as I'm whacking on a face full of zinc, I just thought I would sort of put my thoughts and opinions out there, just because yellowfin whiting has been quite a contentious topic in the news and in the fishing sort of scene over the past month or so, with the main topic and the main sort of frustration from anglers being low stocks in general. And like, yes, I did get my bag limit yesterday, but those bag limits are becoming very few and far between, and you don't really see catches like you used to with a lot of species, to be honest. And more has to be done. Do I have the exact formula for answers and all that sort of stuff? No, there's no easy way, unfortunately, especially when you've got sort of people who make a living off catching yellowfin, or part of their living off catching yellowfin. But I think our methodology around the capture of yellowfin commercially has to change. The netting of fish is just not sustainable anymore. Well, it never was sustainable, but yeah, I think our methodology towards actually, these flies, towards the capture and sort of commercial production of the fish, it's just something needs to be done, quite frankly. But now, with a face full of zinc, I am nearly ready to go. As you can see behind me though, clouds, mostly sunny, the weatherman says. But I think most of these clouds should hopefully burn off or should pass over. It's actually getting more sunny by the minute, which is excellent. But yeah, I'm really excited for this one today. This one should be really, really cool. We might head out a bit further, head straight to those spots where we were getting the yellowfin yesterday and see what's out there. Stay tuned. Let's get out there. First animal encounter this morning is a baby blue swimmer. Oh, it's a Tommy. Oh, it's going nuts. Nice little Tommy rough. Jeez Louise, this thing is gone bunter. Oh my god. It's actually a really good sized Tommy. Tell me that. Look at that. And just bled him. There it is. There's the start. How good is that? I have a rather large blue swimmer crab again. That's another keeper. That is a keeper blue swimmer. Have a go at it. Got something on here. The wind sort of picked up well and truly above forecast. think this is starting to feel like baby George, maybe. Oh no, Tommy. How's the jump? Oh, they do just go nuts when they get in close. Oh, he's running me around. Oi, 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 oi. Hang on a minute. Come on, sir. Where are you? In you get, buddy. No shortage of these fellas at the moment. I got one off camera before. This is the third one of the day. Very, very excited. There he is. Oh, nice Thomas, that one. These things are pretty cool though. Oh, another one. They're big Tommies too, to be honest. Oh, oh, another jump. Oh, then hello. Geez, come in close, mate. Good catch. Well, that concludes this survival challenge. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Also, if you didn't enjoy this video, leave a comment down below. Let me know what style you'd like me to stick to, whether it's just the standard sort of just fishing videos, or if it's the challenge videos, or if it's the how-to videos. Let me know what you guys think. I really enjoyed filming this one, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.